Hello, Frank here. I want to talk about the 2025 Daytona 500 race review. Um, the rain played a factor again in today's race, delaying the race for several hours before they ultimately went green again. Um, Probably for the first 180 laps of the race, I really enjoyed. But the last 20, like typical late races, just devolve into wreck fests. Um, the wreck between Stenhouse and Logano. Logano did make a late block, but I think ultimately just as guilty would be Jerry Logano for still trying to stick his nose in a hole that was not wide enough for his car, ultimately creating that crash. Um, and Ryan Priest's flip. I think the main culprit to that flip the way it did, because it flipped very unusual, is the underwing of the car. Because if that underwing wasn't there, yes, the car would have popped and probably would have caught some air, but nowhere near the air that it caught to cause it to flip like it did when it turned sideways. I think if they didn't have that underwing, I think 80% of that flip would have not happened. It probably would have went airborne, at best maybe one on the side, but really don't think he would have flipped without it. And then the very crash at the end on the backstretch, NASCAR chose not to throw the caution, surprisingly, but I think it's because all the talk about the other races for the week ending under caution due to a late caution thrown or whatever. So they let it go. When that wreck happened, the seas parted for William Byron to get his second Daytona 500 victory and back-to-back Daytona 500 victory. So way to go for him, but he usually starts off the year very, very strong. Then he kind of fizzles out and then gets hot and random points throughout the rest of the year. So I wonder if he'll do the same, and we'll see. And my preseason pick for this race was Kyle Busch, and he was in position until that Joe Logano Stenhouse wreck. He was in pretty decent position to ultimately try to get a good finish, if not a win. But ultimately, it was not meant to be. And I give this race 8 out of 10. It was a good race, but like usual Daytona Talladega races, it devolved into chaos at the end. Later.